going to tell us the deposition of David Williams, one of the individuals who 225 years ago, almost today, captured Major Andre.
It was about 1:00 p.m. on September 22nd, as I was standing in the door with Mr. Benedict's daughter, who was afterwards my wife, when I saw 6 men coming. She remarked, "They have guns." I jumped over a board fence and met them. "Boys," I said, "where are you going?" They replied, "We are going to Tarrytown." I then said, "If you will wait until I get my gun, I will go with you." The names of the 6 persons were Isaac Van Wart, John Paulding, William Williams, John Yerkes, and James Romer. The name of the 6th I have forgotten. We proceeded about 15 miles that night and slept in a hay barrack. In the morning, we crossed Buttermilk Hill, and John Paulding proposed to go to Isaac Reed's to get a pack of cards to divert ourselves with. After procuring them, we went on to Davis Hill, where we separated, leaving 4 to the hill and 3, that is, Isaac Van Wart, John Paulding, and myself, proceeded along the Tarrytown road. We concealed ourselves in the bushes on the west side of the road and commenced playing cards, freehand. That is, each one for himself. We had been playing cards not more than an hour when we heard a horse galloping across a bridge but a few yards from us. Isaac Van Wart said, "There comes a trader going to New York." We stepped out from our concealment and stopped him. Mr. Paulding stood up, presented his firelocks to the breast of the person, and told him to stand. He then asked him which way he was going. "My lads," he said, "I hope you belong to our party." We asked him what party. He replied, "The lower party." We told him we did. He then said, "I am a British officer and have been on particular business up in the country and would not wish to be detained a minute." And as a token to convince us that he was a gentleman, he then pulled out and showed us his gold watch. We then told him we were Americans. "God bless my soul," he said. "A man must do anything these days to get along." And then he showed us General Arnold's pass. We told him it would not satisfy us unless we searched him. He said, "My lads, you will bring yourselves into trouble." We told him we did not fear it. We took him into the bushes and ordered him to pull off his clothes, which he did. But upon searching him narrowly, we could find no kinds of writings. We told him to pull off his boots, which he seemed indifferent about. We got one boot off and searched in that boot and could find nothing. But we found there were some papers in the bottom of his stocking by his foot. On this, we told him to pull off his stocking, and we found there papers wrapped up. Mr. Paulding examined the contents and said, "He is a spy." We told him to pull off his other boot, and we found there 3 more papers. Upon this, we made him dress himself, and I asked him what he would give us to let him go. He said he would give us any sum of money. I asked him whether he would give us his horse, his saddle, bridle, watch, and 100 guineas. He said yes. And he told us he would direct them to any place, even if it were the very spot, so that we could get them. I asked him whether he would give us more. He said he would give us any quantity of dry goods and any sum of money, and that he would bring them to any place we should pitch upon so that we might get it. Mr. Paulding answered, "No. If you would give us 10,000 guineas, you should not stir one step." I then asked the person who called himself John Anderson. I asked him if he would not get away if it were in his power. He said, "Yes, I would." I told him I did not intend he should. Now, while we were taking him along, we asked him some questions, and we stopped under a shade. He begged us not to ask him questions, and said that when he came to a commander, he would reveal all. We then took him about 12 miles to Colonel Jameson's quarters at North Castle. That is my well-verified account of the capture of Andre. And now I would ask that you direct your attention in the opposite direction, where you will see